Good friend Bobby. Bobby, we were just talking about some of the challenges that many people have. What was the Les Norman quote that you said behind?
Yeah, Les Norman, former Major League Baseball player for the Royals, he says, behind every face is a drama unfolding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, the podcast that you run, the ABC, the Always Be Cool, which is cool. There's been some pretty cool stories of how people have overcome adversity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, anything pops out when I say the word adversity?
Sure. Obviously, adversity for a lot of people looks a lot different, right?
Right.
And I think the end goal is understanding that adversity presents opportunity for us.
Mm-hmm.
But some people really are going through a difficult time, and makes me actually think about two of our guests that Darren Copeland and I had as hosts of the show. Two former Major League Baseball players, Royals in particular, Willie Wilson and Willie Aikens.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So a lot of two names that a lot of Kansas City people will recognize, and their stories are not secret. They, while playing in the 70s and 80s, became addicted to cocaine, and it affected their personal relationships, their financial situations, even their relationships with spouses. I mean, Willie Aikens went to federal prison for 12 years. And these decisions that they made created a lot of adversity for them. And I think the message to take away is, even though you're going through something that could be difficult, whether it's addiction, there's just a lot of things that we all go through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that we can come out of it. I mean, it's going to be difficult. We talked about Ryan Lefevre and walking through our own personal hell, right? How do we get through it? We don't sit down in it or turn around and go back. And so I think these stories that people get to share about how they overcame extreme adversity, drugs, sex addiction, alcohol, addiction to success and always feeling the need to appease other people. Like, these are all things that people struggle with each and every day. And just understanding that there are people who have gone through it and that have kind of almost made a template on how to follow not to do it. And then they share their stories with us so that we can say, man, maybe what I'm going through isn't as tough as I thought, or maybe I'm going through something very similar to that. I'm going to learn from it so that I can come out better on the other side.
Wow. Well, yeah, it sounds like both Willies have a lot to share and give.
Their stories are pretty incredible, and they're better men for it today, that's for sure. And we appreciate them sharing those stories because they can be sensitive. And I think it's important to also take away that when you're going through something, you can't just internalize it. Sharing it with a friend, a confidant, someone that you know, love, and trust, and that they won't judge you.
Right.
And being able to talk about it is what helps us get through that adversity.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to hear the Willie stories, where would they go to listen to that?
So our podcast, the Always Be Cool podcast, can
Right
be found on Spotify, Apple, Google, or wherever you listen to podcasts, or at theabcpod.com. Willie Aikens did his episode with us, episode 12, so you can find it. And Willie Wilson was episode 15.
Perfect. Well, thank you. And I'll also include a link below to those. But thank you for sharing that powerful insight.
My pleasure.